Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, Tzu Chi volunteers from 3 Central American countries and the United States attend a blessing ceremony in Guatemala. In the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers from Fresno, California hold a blessing ceremony for local residents and volunteers. And we meet a Tzu Chi care recipient in Canada who did not let his disability stop him from living his life to the fullest. We start today's show in Guatemala. Tzu Chi volunteers from the Dominican Republic, Honduras, and El Salvador were recently invited to join Tzu Chi's New Year Blessing ceremony organized by their Guatemala counterparts. On conclusion of the blessing ceremony, Dominican Republic Tzu Chi volunteers also seized the opportunity to hold a local volunteer training seminar that was conducted entirely in Spanish.
Volunteers from Honduras, El Salvador, the Dominican Republic, and the United States are here in Guatemala to attend Tzu Chi's New Year Blessing ceremony, celebrating the occasion with local residents. Starting the year off on the right foot, many participants donated their full bamboo coin banks to Tzu Chi.
It was a really good experience, and above all because together we share the same values. The fundamental values of Tzu Chi Foundation means compassion and relief, and this is exactly our values and precepts in our Catholic congregation.
The sign language was very difficult because it was our first time and it was in front of a lot of people. We tried our best to put on a perfect performance to share our feelings with everyone, and we feel blessed being able to do so. In the 15 years that Tzu Chi volunteers have cultivated Tzu Chi's missions in Central America, this is the first time volunteers from 4 countries have come together to support an event. Making the most of their time here, Dominican Republic Tzu Chi volunteers also seized the opportunity and conducted a training seminar in Spanish for local volunteers.
Our goal is to using our Spanish skills to convey what we have learned from our headquarters and share our 15 years of experience in the Dominican Republic with our local volunteers.
30 Honduras volunteers traveled 19 hours by bus, passing through the borders of El Salvador and Guatemala before finally arriving in Guatemala. The one-day local volunteer training seminar in Guatemala City is attended by 88 volunteers from the United States, the Dominican Republic, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. The seminar was conducted entirely in Spanish. Profound lessons were made easy without losing the core spirit of Tzu Chi.
This is a great opportunity to have so many volunteers to come together and receive training in Spanish. We look forward to more opportunities like this in the future to cultivate more volunteers.
It's sensational and fabulous because in the past, we only stayed in our own countries. Now we know we have brothers and sisters from other countries with whom we can share our experiences with.
It's really important for us to participate in this training because it's a way for us to learn from our brothers and sisters and take this knowledge back with us to El Salvador to share it with others.
The song we were singing touches my heart every time. Whether it's sung in Spanish, English, or in Mandarin, there is always this emotion that makes you feel a part of this family, and it's an emotion you want to share with many.
On conclusion of a successful seminar, volunteers from the 4 Central American countries all promised to meet again to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Tzu Chi's establishment in the Dominican Republic.
In Northern California of the United States, 2 blessing ceremonies were held. At the Fremont event, a couple thanked the volunteers for their continued support throughout the husband's dialysis treatments. Meanwhile, at the Tzu Chi Academy for the Tri-Valley area, audience members who did not understand Chinese were still able to grasp the spirit of Tzu Chi. United in praying for peace at a blessing ceremony in Northern California, Jose David Cardona, whose daughter attends the Tzu Chi Academy Tri-Valley, feels the warmth of Tzu Chi every time he visits.
It's very calm. You can feel welcome every time you come. And the way they receive you in the front door, there's something that you don't feel it every day.
After his first Tzu Chi event today, Franz Benyak becomes more supportive to his wife, who is a teacher at the Tzu Chi Academy.
Well, I didn't understand Chinese, but I saw the video, and you know, the world is full of greed and violence and natural catastrophes. And I'm happy that Tzu Chi is going out to the world and helps those people who need it.
At the blessing ceremony in Fremont, California, a couple is here to show their appreciation for the support Tzu Chi volunteers have given their family during the 5 years of the husband's dialysis treatments.
一直以来，慈济这个团队对我们帮助很大。
Tzu Chi has given us a lot of help. There were still many problems after my husband's kidney transplant. Our bonds are deeply connected to this big family. I can't count the number of volunteers that have helped us.
Recording down each moment is Chen Huawei, who is visiting his daughter in the United States.
The volunteers have done much, and I want to record it and take it back to Nanjing to share with my relatives and co-workers.
A few curious Hindus joined the ceremony, and Tzu Chi volunteers hurried forward to assist in translations, thus grasping all opportunities to spread the love further. Staying in California, Tzu Chi volunteers in Fresno recently held a blessing ceremony for local residents and volunteers. During the ceremony, a previous recipient of Tzu Chi's free dental clinic went on stage to express his thanks to the Buddhist NGO.
Walking on stage with confidence to share his story, this is Aaron Weaver, who thanks to Tzu Chi's free clinic a year ago, was able to cure his dental problem.
Guys, this has been a phenomenal experience for me. I'm so grateful. Everybody here has been a blessing. The family and the doctor families that I've come to embrace. They have helped me with my teeth.
In Central California's Fresno, to help those without health insurance, over the past 1 year, more than 10 free clinics were held in the area. Inspired by Tzu Chi's good work, the recent blessing ceremony in Fresno was not only attended by members of the public, but also local volunteers.
Volunteering for Tzu Chi is something, a gift that I give to myself, and I'm very happy to be able to give myself this gift. I hope to do it for my whole life.
Decorating the venue for the blessing ceremony, this is Nicole Hernandez, who says it is an honor to help.
I am very happy to have the opportunity to be a part of Tzu Chi's blessing ceremony every year. I am truly touched by Tzu Chi's good work.
Receiving a blessing and with the red envelope from the volunteers, thanks to the blessing ceremony, participants will go home with happiness and joy in their hearts.
In Taiwan's Taoyuan, we meet 90-year-old recycling volunteer Wu Ling Ah Zhao, who seizes every chance to sort recyclables. But first, we go to China's Hubei province to see how Wuhan Tzu Chi volunteers spread Tzu Chi's environmental message.
This eco-blanket is not just a blanket, but one that is embedded with tremendous love.
To encourage kindergarten teachers to incorporate environmental messages into their class materials, Wuhan Tzu Chi volunteers in Hubei province held a seminar at the Dafang kindergarten.
This year, we will focus on our class materials on environmentalism. I will encourage our teachers to pass on eco-friendly concepts to their students. As a teacher, we need to inspire our students and encourage them to be eco-friendly.
Other than working with teachers, volunteers hope parents can also join their ranks in safeguarding the planet.
Teachers have many opportunities to interact with students' parents, for example, through parent-teacher meetings. Teachers can use 5 to 10 minutes during a meeting to pass on environmental messages to parents.
To promote environmentalism, volunteers also visit a local community. Through a question and answer session, members of the community gain a better understanding of how to sort their garbage as they learn of the importance of safeguarding our Mother Earth. riding her electric senior scooter to the local Tzu Chi recycling station. This is recycling volunteer Wu Ling A Zhao, who lives in Taoyuan, Taiwan.
I once fell into a ditch along with my electric scooter. I was here and my scooter was over there.
Knowing that the senior suffered a stroke in the past, Tzu Chi volunteer Xu Enlang, who lives nearby, decided to drive Wu to the recycling station on a regular basis.
Sometimes when I can't pick her up, I will make sure if her son is at home or not. If her son is at home, he will drive her to the recycling station. I will always pick her up if I am heading to the station myself.
Next, we joined Tzu Chi volunteers worldwide as they promoted positive behavior through the teachings of Jing Si Aphorisms in schools in Tijuana of Mexico and in Hsinchu of Taiwan.
In a Jing Si Aphorism competition in Hsinchu, 4th grader Wang Yilu incorporates a historical story with Tzu Chi's words of wisdom to pass on the importance of fulfilling filial duties.
Mom and Dad get really tired after work, so we can give them a foot bath and serve them tea. These are but a few of the many filial acts we can do for our parents.
To these students, their happiest time is probably not when they are on the stage, but when they are listening to the stories of other students. To me, this is more like a class than a competition with different students sharing their stories.
To promote Jing Si Aphorisms, volunteers held storytelling, Chinese calligraphy, and drawing competitions at the Hsinchu Jing Si Hall, inviting children of all ages to participate.
起一念恶，消灭一切善；起一念善，破除百种恶。善恶只在一念间。我们要尽量往好的方面想。
We should try to think on the positive side of things and remain optimistic. The outcome may be better than you originally thought.
好很多。
很感谢有这样的一个主题。
I'm grateful for such an event because it gives our children the opportunity to express their love and compassion through drawing. It is a great learning opportunity.
Through presenting Jing Si Aphorisms in different ways, the youngsters are able to practice these ideals in their daily lives and ultimately influence their families as well.
透过这一次的画画，他们就知道。
Through their drawings, they gained a lot. My son said to me we should love our planet and tells me what I should do in our daily lives so we don't do more damage to our Mother Earth.
Regardless of the outcome of the competition, parents are proud of their children for gaining wisdom through the event and demonstrating compassion and sensibility.
That man is so dirty. It's the reason why he's so poor. Esa persona está muy sucia.
Here at the Tijuana Tzu Chi School in Mexico, U.S. Tzu Chis are putting on a short skit to pass on the message behind Jing Si Aphorisms to students.
Most importantly, we hope to spread the idea of speaking good words, doing good deeds, and thinking good thoughts.
Through such interactive activities, the children write down ways to do good deeds and words of blessings to say to others.
When we gave them pencils to use, after they finished, they returned them right away. They made sure to return all the items.
For over a decade, Tzu Chi volunteers have brought their humanitarian message to this school situated on the border between Mexico and the United States and have seen positive changes in that time.
Todo lo demás fluye. Everything else is just fluid. Y podemos entendernos. And we can understand each other. Con una mirada. With a glance. Una sonrisa. With a smile.
Estás bien. Tú estás bien. Tzu Chi volunteers once again proved that great love transcends all boundaries.
In our next story, we go to Canada to meet麦湘, who was paralyzed after an advertising billboard fell on his neck. Although once feeling helpless, with the support of his family and Tzu Chi volunteers, Mai has regained the courage to move on with his life.
是你 给了我温暖的拥抱，让我摆渡过生命的潮。
我跟我家人都没有想过。
My family and I never thought that an accident like this would happen to me. After the accident, I was left paralyzed. I never imagined that I would have the courage to overcome such a disability.
In 2009, Mai Xiang was hit by a fallen shop sign and was left paralyzed. When the accident occurred, he was only 21 years old.
刚过了完马路吧，然后接着我就记得我刚刚一
I
走
remember I was walking across the street and then I lost conscious. When I woke up, I was in the hospital.
7个多月吧，整整7个多月。
For more than 7 months, my son couldn't speak or move his hands and feet. We were in despair.
所以我们就很惨了，
感觉都结束了。
I thought everything was over for me. I kept crying and wanted to end my life. I felt depressed and miserable.
The accident shattered Mai's dreams and took away his hope.
出去吃饭的时候，我好怕。
When my family and I went out for dinner, I was always afraid that people would recognize me. However, I tried a change of mindset. I said to myself that I can pretend that I am a celebrity when people turn their head to look at me. People tend to turn their heads to look at celebrities, so in a way I'm a celebrity too.
Thankfully, with his family's love and care, Mai Xiang has regained the courage to move on with his life.
帮过我的时候，我参加了不少活动，他们每个人带人。
I was helped by Tzu Chi, and during that time I attended many Tzu Chi events. I admire the way Tzu Chi volunteers carried out their mission. I hope I can join their ranks.
To pay the love forward, Mai not only canvassed for donations for high-end survivors, but also introduced senior residents at a nursing home.
我自己身体上的障碍，既然也是一种福气。
In a way, my disability brings me blessings. It gives me the opportunity to help those in greater need.
一颗心装满爱，风再大不飘摇，学会把肩膀借别人依靠。
In Malaysia, the Tzu Chi Malacca chapter held a volunteer training seminar in which nearly 100 participants arrived to take part. And the Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter in Penang organized a training camp where educators shared their experiences and insights.
Teachers from various Tzu Chi kindergartens in Malaysia are coming together to share their experiences, and those new to the field are finding such events particularly helpful.
Through this event, I have learned many new teaching methods, and after sharing some with another teacher, she gave me a lot of new ideas. I wonder why I had never thought of these ideas before, such as using interactive games to spice up my class.
Chen Jie-ying, a new teacher, says she's grateful for the support of the senior teachers. I've learned how to lead my students. We were told that as educators, we need to learn and mature and have a sense of responsibility. That sense of responsibility will motivate us to shoulder more tasks. At this training seminar at the Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter in Penang, educators find themselves in deep discussion regarding the benefits of various teaching curriculums.
In fact, a lot of time is needed to collect and categorize the photos, so we felt like we needed to let the teachers know in advance what type of photos are we looking for, and we need to start collecting them when they are just 4 years of age.
Teachers hope by giving their all to better pass on the right values to students. Meanwhile, at the Tzu Chi Malacca chapter, nearly 100 participants are attending a volunteer training seminar and sharing environmental ideas.
Nowadays, many people just throw their garbage away. We should encourage them to sort recyclables.
It is really magnificent that we can turn PET bottles into blankets and clothing. Ye Shoufen has changed her mindsets towards unwanted items upon learning that they can be recycled.
Recyclables can be sold and turned into gold, and naturally, all this garbage is of great value as well.
Among participants are couples, families, and even a teacher who brought her students to learn more about environmentalism. It is through such events that everyone come to realize that they too can make a difference.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Johor Bahru organized a New Year blessing ceremony for local residents. Inspired by Tzu Chi's love and compassion, several participants decided to sign up to join the volunteers' ranks and adopted bamboo coin banks to help the less fortunate.
In Malaysia's Johor Bahru, Tzu Chi volunteers organize a New Year's blessing ceremony and invite local residents to join in the festive celebration. Among the participants is former care recipient Li Shuqin, who is here to show her thanks to volunteers.
Tzu Chi brothers and sisters are very nice to me. I've missed them very much. They didn't stop to care for me and my family, and they often drive me to do recycling work.
To mark the festive occasion, young students put on a music performance to entertain the audience. As most of them are first-timers at Tzu Chi's events, they say they are happy to be a part of the activity.
My friends invited me to join this performance. Here, I truly experienced firsthand Tzu Chi's great love. This organization makes me realize that love actually exists in this world.
Through Tzu Chi's video clip, participants have gained a better understanding of Tzu Chi's charity missions around the globe. Care recipients also showed up to share their life stories with participants. Later, everybody joins in prayer, which brings them peace of mind. To respond to Tzu Chi's charity missions, some participants sign up to become Tzu Chi members, while others adopt bamboo coin banks, ending the day on a perfect note.
To welcome the arrival of spring and promote environmentalism, 19 Tzu Chi volunteers in China recently held a tea gathering. During the event, volunteers showcased decorations made from recyclables and put on a skit to remind participants to cherish all resources.
To welcome in the Spring Festival, Nanjing Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a tea gathering, and the venue is decorated with beautiful decorations made from recyclables.
All the flower vases were made from recyclables. We used cocoa sprout bottles to make them.
We have transformed unwanted items into useful and beautiful decorations.
To spread environmental messages far and wide, volunteers not only decorate the venue with recyclables, but also put on a skit to remind participants to cherish resources. All the costume and props of this short skit are made from recyclables to promote environmentalism.
All the costumes and props were made by our volunteers. With creativity, we can turn recyclables into useful items.
Knowing the importance to protect our planet, many participants promised to encourage more people to safeguard our Mother Earth.
At the end of the show, we go to Johannesburg, South Africa, where over 400 residents and local volunteers gathered to celebrate the Spring Festival. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. See you next week.